Not Nerd Podcast, episode 311. We break, you fix.
Welcome to the Not Nerd Podcast. I'm Nate Heath, and we are here to help you tech better. Here with me, as always, Mr. Dave Baylor.
Greetings and salutations to you, my friend, from my cold cave on the west side.
Yes, it's just for Elliot, the weather report. It is
Yes.
about 46 degrees Fahrenheit today, which is about 10 degrees warmer than it's been this time of the morning last couple days. But we are definitely in the throes of fall.
And I checked the weather in Melbourne the other day, and it's quite warm over there.
Yeah, it says they are rolling quickly into their summer season.
Yes.
This week in astrology with Nate and Dave. Well, before we get into Followup, there was something we were going to follow up on. I teased last week, and a lot of you are probably tuning in just because I said I was going to bring Chelsea on to discuss vacuum cleaners.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, I know. You were just going to not be here this week, but due to a scheduling conflict, we are going to have to postpone that. But she will be joining us at some point to discuss the new vacuum cleaners in our lives this year.
It's a little hard to do these type of things around the holidays with all the different schedules and things going on.
Yes.
We've had to make changes to our recording schedule.
Yes.
It's a crazy time. Why do we do this?
It is a crazy time. I do not know. And we are coming up on Black Friday, which we always briefly discuss. And if there's something you need, look for a deal on it. That's about all I got for you on Black Friday sales. And I've noticed it's like last Friday is when all the sales started.
Well, and the real tip there on Black Friday is don't leave your house. Just order stuff online. And if you miss it, you miss it. Oh, well, boo-hoo.
Yes.
You entitled
you will
snob.
survive. Well, and with that, we will move into our follow-up. We're always talking about the TVs and the ads on TVs and all these smart TVs. Well, it came out this week that Vizio, one of our recommended TV brands, makes more profit on their ads, subscriptions, and data. It's double the profit as it makes actually selling TVs, which really shouldn't be a surprise. Their TVs are cheap, and everybody's selling ads and selling subscriptions and all this stuff. But I thought it was interesting that it was double the profit.
Yeah. I do not like Vizio for a number of reasons, and this would be just one more to add to the list. But Alex Lindsay from MacBreak Weekly and other sources always says, hey, man, when I get a TV, I don't even connect it to the internet. It just put on my Apple TV, and it's a stupid monitor. And, of course, it's still going to know that you're plugging in an Apple TV, but that should be all the information that it gets. And so if you are privacy conscious, then get a streaming device to hook to your TV and a trusted streaming device at that, which these days I think Apple TV is probably the only one that doesn't sell your data.
Yes. And I have thought that because I rarely ever use my TCL TV, which I'm sure is the same. They probably make double the profit off their all of that stuff, and because the TV was dirt cheap, and I do have it connected to the internet, but it doesn't really need to be, except for my daughter has figured out how to cast videos from a device to the TV. So her new favorite game is if something's on the TV that I might be watching, she goes, "Daddy, are you watching this?" And I'm like, "Yep, I'm watching it." And I'm usually not. I'm usually playing something on my phone. She goes, "Are you sure you're watching it? Watch the TV." And then she casts some YouTube Kids video to the TV.
Like,
so that's a
trick.
And it goes through YouTube Kids. It's like a lot easier to do it through the TCL than it is through Apple, even though she's doing it through an Apple device, but it's Google's app. Who knows?
Man.
Who cares?
Just got deep there.
Yes. Another thing we talk about often is eBooks, and you found a website, standardebooks.org.
Yeah, free and liberated ebooks, carefully produced for the true book lover. Yeah, there's a bunch of free ebooks that you can download in various formats and put them on your Kindle or on your Kobo or your whatever reader, or just look at them on your screen. So yeah, if you're looking for free open source and public domain books, then that is a great resource.
Yes, and I did see in there, I was looking at it and said, Standard eBooks is a volunteer-driven project that produces new editions of public domain ebooks that are lovingly formatted, open source, free of copyright restrictions, free of cost. So we've actually talked about like some, the public domain ebooks and stuff before, but a couple of the ones that I've downloaded and looked at, like just poor formatting and everything. So they're putting some love into these and making a little better experience.
These are handcrafted ebooks.
Yes.
Made with a chisel and a mallet.
Yes.
Yeah. But I mean, they're free. They're, like I said, all those different stuff. But exactly, if you're wanting a more artisan experience in reading these books versus just, I copied this from a PDF and pasted it into the EPUB format where nothing is wrapped correctly. Yeah, it's quite a different experience.
Very nice. So definitely check that out if you need a new ebook there. And Dave, I'm sad that we missed, and I'm guessing all of our listeners as well, that they had the NFT.NYC conference the other week. Yeah. A week-long conference for the NFT world, which I keep hoping is going to go away, but there still seems to be a lot of people into this whole NFT thing.
Well, it made me, the other day when I was listening to somebody, it made me want to think, can I just devote $20 to an NFT and find one to buy just to see how this thing works? But it would probably be like just donating $20 to the NFT fund. I'd never get it back,
Yes. And I did see something else this past week, that there was a bunch of people that are upset that they had bought NFTs from celebrities, Snoop Dogg or something, let's say, and their NFTs weren't worth as much as when they bought it. And it's like, oh no, I couldn't have seen that coming when the market is flooded with all this stuff, and it's not necessarily something. But I think a lot of what drives the overall what drives the train of NFTs is people that have made a silly amount of money on cryptocurrency and are looking for some way to spend it and think that this might be the next big thing, but I don't know.
Remember, in all the stocks and tradings and crypto and NFTs, in order for somebody to win, somebody else usually has to lose. So,
yes. This is very true, but everyone wins with Dave's Pro Tip of the Week.
So I was thinking about traveling to Mexico, Greece, China, but Nate, I don't know.
Nice little trip.
All in one trip. It's not exactly linear. It's more of kind of bouncing around. But I don't speak any other language but English and a little bit of Spanish. I know taco, burrito, chihuahua.
Good, you're set.
I'm good. If I could just get down where is the bathroom, I think I could travel throughout Mexico and Spain.
Yeah.
Then I realized, Nate, I don't need to speak language. I have a miniature computer that fits in my pocket that can basically translate any language that I would ever want to speak. You guys out there have known that iPhones and Google phones and everything have had some type of language translation in it. But I wanted to cover today just about how easy it is to work when you have Spanish or German or Chinese text on your screen to translate it into something that makes sense to you. So today's Pro Tip of the Week is titled Translate Text with a Tap. And just kind of a side tip, a bonus tip, as I might say, is don't forget about when you have your iPhone that there is typically a Tips app, TIPS. And if you launch that, especially time around when there's a new operating system, Apple will be pushing the Tips app to you. So you at home can play along and find the Tips app for iOS 15 and find Translate Text with a Tap inside. And here is what it says. You can translate text in PDFs, messages, and other apps. Select the text, then tap translate. They've got English, Chinese, French, Italian, German, Portuguese, Spanish, Russian, Arabic, Japanese, and Korean. So that's a lot of languages to choose from. And here's how it works. For my little demo today, I typed in the website Telemundo in my web browser on my phone, as recommended by Nate there. I said, give me something in Spanish, and all he could think of was TV shows, because that's who Nate is.
Yes.
And on the top hit, before you get to their page, it says Telemundo, and it has some Spanish text. Well, I'm going to take my little selector here by tapping on the text, and then I'm going to move my little highlight handles to highlight the text block. And when I let go, you probably are familiar with the little flag that pops up that says copy, look up, speak, etc. Well, you probably have looked over the one that says translate. But if you do tap that translate flag, it brings up a little pull-up drawer from the bottom of the screen, and mine says La Mejor and some other Spanish stuff, and it translates to the best coverage of news in Spanish, complete chapters of our series and shows, entertainment, lifestyle, and videos. I mean, it translated it really good. Like it wasn't broken English or anything.
Yeah.
So this works in a PDF or any other thing that you have on your screen. Just highlight the text and hit the translate flag, and you're good to go.
Very nice. Yeah, that's that combined, as we were talking about pre-show, the live text feature in iOS 15, where you can just take pictures of stuff. But that is very helpful, and there is translation has come a long ways, and both Google and Apple have translate apps, and there's all kinds of stuff you can do. But that one, if there's just one phrase, you need to get it quick. You don't have to open up another app or download an app or do any of that, and just get it done right on your device.
And just as an additional bonus, I did try it out. If you point your camera and you use your live text, that translate flag does come up. So if there's a sign, and I think we mentioned that before, a sign or something like that you need to translate, just point your camera at it, use live text, hit the translate, you're good to go.
Okay, well, we need to go travel to countries where we don't know the language so we can try that out. Business expense, right?
Yes.
We gotta have some write-offs from that sweet not nerd money we got rolling in. Anyways, on to our takes of the week. Big news this week. Apple is launching a do-it-yourself repair program for iPhones and Macs next year. It is nearing the end of November, so next year is not that far away. Hopefully it'll be earlier in the year than later, but this is big news, Dave. And as somebody that likes to repair devices, nay, loves to repair devices like you, what are your thoughts on this program?
Well, I saw all kinds of websites and everything making jokes about news blast, hell just froze over, or all these this we didn't think this would ever happen. I think it's okay. There are a couple takes out there where this is just kind of a maneuver by Apple to kind of dodge governmental legislation that is with the whole right to repair movement that's going on, and they're trying to avoid any type of legal action against them or governmental fines or rules that they'll have to follow. So they're trying to get ahead of the game. That's one take on it. And I would say that's probably absolutely true. But at the same time, who cares? If I can more easily repair a device that I spent $1,000 for, then I'm all for it. I have in the past repaired, changed batteries, etc. in older. We're talking like iPhone 5, iPhone 6, that era of phones.
Yes.
And it was relatively easy, but as the iPhones became more and more water and air tight, when you repair these things, you're breaking seals and doing all kinds of things. You're basically having to break the phone to get inside the phone. And so I stopped doing it. I'm like, take it to iFixit or take it to, or what is it, We Break, You Fix, or send it to Apple or whatever, or just kind of give up and go buy a new phone. That's what I tell some people who are trying to limp along their 6-year-old device. It's like, just, spend a little money. So I think it's a good thing. I am skeptical, though, just how easy it's going to be even with Apple's
Yes.
tools to open and repair some of these things, I still think it's going to be rather difficult.
Yes, and they do even say that Apple's website will first have you read through the repair manual to ensure you're comfortable performing the repair. So they're kind of very much what like iFixit does, where they have these manuals. But yes, I see this as not, oh, good, my parents will be able to fix their own phones. I see this more of a, hey, Dave wants a weekend project, and he's going to try to do a repair on the devices. It looks like it's just going to be rolling out for the iPhone 13 and maybe the iPhone 12, so the newer ones, which again are the hardest ones to repair. But I think it is to avoid legal pressure. But at the same time, it's cool to see him actually do it instead, doing something else that, or not doing anything at all.
Yeah, overall, I think it's going to help the community of iPhone users, where if something is wrong, they'll probably take it to iFix. They'll probably take it to one of those fix-it places, and those places are going to be able to utilize these tools and do the repair easier than they would have otherwise been able to. So it's going to be good for everybody, the repair shops and the consumers.
Yes. And real-time follow-up, you called it We Break, You Fix. It's actually You Break, We Fix, which makes it a much better business model in the long run.
Yeah. You don't want the people breaking your stuff and then you have to go home and fix it. So, yeah.
Yes. I'm sure there's a market for it. Somebody would be into that. But our next one, and I realized that in our show notes, I typed it and probably got you excited. I typed it as Amazon announces hottest tech gifts of 2021 instead of gifts. So
I think it's pronounced gifts, by the way.
Yes, gifts.
I'm starting to try.
My
I'm trying to
politically correct method.
I'm trying to start a war.
Yes, I don't even know how I pronounce it anymore. So, but anyways, from USA Today, Amazon just announced the hottest tech gifts of 2021. Here are the best ones to buy. Yes. So, number one on the list, Apple AirPods Pro, which I have seen some amazing Black Friday deals that I imagine will continue through the holidays on the AirPods Pro. And I know that I got the AirPods Gen 3, but the AirPod Gen 2, my older ones, which I really love, I was at Costco and I sent you a picture and they're $80.
Yeah, it was like 80 or 89
that they're
bucks
selling
or something.
those. That is a very approachable price. I'm still not convinced that anybody needs the Gen 3 that I have, but it's like I like some of the features, but then I put in my older ones. Anyways, we're talking about AirPods Pro. They are the number one hot tech gift, according to Amazon.
And I think they have been for the past several years, all these AirPods.
Yeah, AirPods, yes. Yeah. And then Sony noise-canceling headphones. These are large over-the-ear noise-canceling headphones. I don't know who's buying these things, but Amazon says you should buy them, maybe because they're $248 and they make money on them.
I guess so, but I will say that my daughter, who is a petite person, has very small ear holes, and the AirPods don't really work for her that well. And so overhead earphones would work well for people who have small ear canals.
Number three, the Nintendo Switch, which has probably also been on this list for several years.
I want to get the new OLED model, but I can't really justify it since my Switch has been sitting here not used several days.
Yes.
If you're a first-time Switch owner, go for the OLED model. But if you're a current Switch owner, it's probably not worth upgrading. That's the thing.
Nice. The Fujifilm Instax mini instant camera, so the Polaroid style where you can take pictures. And I did DJ a couple weddings this year where they had these out so people could take a little selfie and have something right there. Looks like they're around $100 for these things, and I know the film gets expensive quick.
Yeah, I saw this on the back shelf of some podcasters. I think it was Marquez Brownlee even. I'm just like, these are not new.
Why?
They've been around for several years. Maybe there's a new model or something like that. I actually bought my daughter one several Christmases ago, and I think she used it 3 times. I don't know. Take the photos with your phone and take it to Costco or to Kinko's and get it printed out if you
yes,
buy
if
a printer.
You must.
If you must.
Well, we're just share it on the internet.
Yeah.
Yes. The LG OLED C1 Smart Series series smart TV, that's awfully specific, is number 5 on the list. But
Yeah, it is.
I know LG makes good TVs, and this is an OLED one, and they start for $1,300. But yeah, buy one of those for all your family members for Christmas. It's a hot item.
Yeah. Fun fact, most of the Apple monitors, screens, displays are LG displays. Fun fact.
Oh, yes. Yes. The Amazon Kindle Paperwhite. Now, I know that you are an Amazon device hoarder, and I have never owned a Kindle myself. My wife has, but is this really earned the number 6 spot on their list as people wanting Kindle Paperwhites in 2021?
I prefer the term Kindle collector, not hoarder. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay. Yes, I apologize.
But the new ones recently came out, and there is chatter online about them. The Kindle community, which I follow on Reddit, is very excited about these new ones. They keep, like iPads, iPhones, whatever, they keep getting better and better. They iterate on them. The standard plain Jane Kindle with not a lot going on in it is like waterproof these days. It's got a better screen, it's faster and all that stuff, and it's like $80. It's inexpensive. Then you get your Paperwhite model, which they have the new one, where it can go from a cool looking backlight to or a front light, whatever it is, to a warmer one, which is a new feature. And they're, of course, water resistant. You can sit and read by the pool without fear of ruining your devices. And so I think for people who read a lot, when new Kindles come out, there is excitement in the air. I think people are upgrading often to the newer devices.
The Jabra Elite Active 75T wireless earbuds, which apparently were rated the USA Today experts chose them as the best wireless earbuds for running.
I see.
Okay.
Well,
no running in my life.
Yeah. At this price, why wouldn't you just buy the $89 on sale
AirPods? Yeah, because these ones are about $100, and there was a route that I drive a couple times a week, and for whatever reason, a lot of people run on this road. There's some women's running group or something that I think they just run up and down this road all day because they always seem to be there. But they have, as I'm driving by, I'm looking in their ear because I'm that kind of guy, and almost all of them had AirPods in. Looking for Apple products where I can find them.
When a group of women run by, I typically am not looking at their ears. I got to be honest with you. And I don't care who knows, but yeah, that's an interesting take. I will look at their wrists and their ears the next time.
A gaggle Apple Watches and AirPods. A gaggle of women. Yes. Number 8, the GoPro Hero 10 waterproof action camera. Now, I used to I've owned GoPros. I used to think, hey, you have to have a GoPro. It might just be me as I get older that I am not very active and I'm not doing any extreme sports where I think there's a lot better options for.
Were you before?
Well, not really. I did used to surf, and that was kind of just before GoPros really came in, and so didn't get to do that whole thing much. But I just, for $450, I don't know who needs a GoPro these days, especially with our phones being pretty waterproof and having amazing cameras in them. I'm
going to do you one better, folks out there who want to get a GoPro. Instead, get the Insta360 Go 2 camera. This is a camera that I want. Yes. It's cheaper than the GoPro. It has more features. It doesn't have quite as high a resolution, but it's more convenient. It's more robust. It's just an all-around better kind of toy camera that won't break the bank. So the Insta360 Go 1 or 2 would probably be a better option for those on your Christmas list.
Yes. Number 9, the Fitbit Charge 5, which in my opinion, get an Apple Watch, or if you have no money, get the Wise Watch.
Yes, the Wise Watch is incredible.
I am very surprised how prevalent, and I think it's just because they spend a lot of money on advertising, that Fitbit still seems to be with the dominance of the Apple Watch and all the other options on the market. But
well, were they purchased by Amazon recently? Who bought them? Someone bought them.
That's it was Google or Amazon or somebody.
If only there were a way to find out.
Yes, if
we'll
only
never
my
know.
fingers could type any faster. Google
Yeah.
is the parent organization. That's what my intuition said. But
Yeah.
since this article was based around Amazon, number 10, the DJI Mini 2 foldable drone at $450.
I know a guy who got one of those recently, and that's a great gift. In fact, I would take another one if anybody wants to give me another one.
Buy it so you can have dueling drone minis. But yeah, the drones and the Mini 2 is kind of the lower end of the DJI, but you still get the amazing optics. So I am starting to get tempted on a drone, but I know that I would never use it. And what I should do is borrow one from somebody that I know and try it out and see if it's something that I will ever use, or rent it from someone.
I don't lend out the Mini 2, but you can use my my Parrot.
Oh yeah, your Bebop or your
Bebop
Parrot
back there,
or your any of those ones. And we'll start moving quickly. This is getting long. Number 11 is the Bose SoundLink Micro, which I actually was given one of these, and it was a previous pick of the week. These are awesome little portable Bluetooth speakers that's waterproof, everything. They're about $120, so they're kind of expensive, but it is Bose. Amazon Fire TV stick we've talked about, the Apple AirTags we've talked about, the Quartet Glass Whiteboard Desktop Easel. If you need a desktop whiteboard, give for that. Google Nest Thermostat. Acer Nitro 5 gaming laptop.
Pass.
If you need one of those, get it. Ring light, Apple Pencil, Amazon Smart Plug. Man, this list keeps going. Oculus Quest 2 virtual reality headset. We were talking about that this week.
I've got a lot of things on this list.
Yes, and this is why I told my wife this week, I really honestly don't need anything for Christmas because I have everything. I buy too much technology, and that's what I like. But anyways, enough of that. Let's move on now that we spent like 2 hours on that.
Well, that's
and this one
important.
we'll probably spend a half an hour on this too. This is one of my nerdiest headlines of the year nominees. It is IBM launches 127 qubit Eagle quantum processor, previews IBM Quantum System 2.
Well, why even read the article? The title says it all. I mean,
Yes. So basically, IBM has made some advances on a processor for quantum computing and are working on quantum computers. And that stuff goes about 20 feet over my head when trying to understand how it all works.
And every time I think of quantum computers, I think of the series or the limited series Devs, DEVS.
Oh, yes.
If you're into kind of mind-bending sci-fi, then check out Devs.
Yes. It reminds me of Quantum Leap. 2 weeks in a row with an 80s action TV show reference. After the Fall Guy last week, we'll go Quantum Leap this week.
Wow. 80s TV was something else.
Yes,
All the same shows, just with different characters.
Exactly. Well, we do have a couple security and privacy stories this week. This one, there was a hoax email blast that went out from the FBI's email servers. You know, the FBI, the ones that wanted a backdoor into iPhones, iPhone encryption, because they're so secure. So Krebs on Security has a good write-up of it that, emails started going out and it was talking about, you've been, this, I think it was like a ransomware and kind of this email that was halfway well crafted, but there was some suspicious wording in there. But yeah, even when you're the FBI, you cannot protect yourselves from this. And the next one is it hits close to home. I believe we were just talking about it last week, possibly on the show. Robinhood, one of our previous picks of the week, that we both actively use this app. It allows you to purchase fractional stocks, crypto, all kinds of stuff in there. Well, they had a data breach, and they say millions of customer names and email addresses were taken. And then it says, as well as a much smaller set of more specific customer data. So that's usually the number that quickly grows over time when nobody's paying attention anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, A malicious hacker had socially engineered a customer service representative over the phone to get access to customer support systems. That allowed the hacker to obtain customer names and email addresses, but also additional full names, dates of birth, zip codes of 310 customers is what they're saying now.
How does that work? Oh, hi, I'm Tim from the Robinhood Tech systems, and I need the username and password to get in and check a couple things. Well, you sound sincere. I'm going to let you into our system. Like, how does that even work?
As we always talk about, the weakest point is always seems to be the humans.
Yes.
But man, and you might say, well, it's just names and email addresses. But as we've talked about before, that then gives them 3 pieces of information. The fact that you're a Robinhood customer, your name and your email address. So then they can do a spoofed email and say, hey, Dave, your Robinhood account password needs to be changed. Click this link, and then you go type in your password, and then they have your password. So.
Yeah, and this is not to keep going on and on about this, but this is the same phone call scam where they're at your Robinhood.com page. They type in your email as your username, and they say password reset, and then they have your phone number, so they call you and say, hey, we're from Robinhood Fraud Protection. We're going to send you a password reset link. Give us the number that appears on the other side, and then they're in your account. So don't ever give a code over the phone to somebody who calls you. Just don't even answer the phone, as we talked about last time. Just send every call to voicemail.
Yes, indeed. Well, our bonus odd take of the week is a website I found that I don't think we've referenced before. It is called Scan of the Month, and their current scan is a Lego minifigure, and they did a CT scan on a Lego minifig to show you the engineering inside of a minifig.
I didn't know that this was a mystery as to what was inside of a minifig, but I'm looking at it here. It is quite interesting. It just kind of looks like a 3D model, which is a testament to how well our imaging scans are these days. It's like something out of Star Trek, honestly.
Yes. How precise. And wherever I found it, they were commenting just how precise the engineering is inside of these minifigs. And I know
it's very precise.
We have lots of Lego fans, and as well as us, and so just thought it was a fun one to look through. And they kind of do a run through. They've got the firefighter minifig and the alien, and as you scroll through the website, one of those fun ones where it kind of goes through the T-scan and do later. Then they do multiple. So I don't know. I was going to look and see. It doesn't look like they have an archive of their previous ones. You can join their email list to get future ones. But I wonder if we can somehow hack their systems. Maybe this is their one. Maybe this is their introduction. They're starting with the minifig, and we'll go from there.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yes. And we'll also see about our picks of the week.
So I mentioned a couple weeks ago that I got the new iPad mini, which I love dearly. I'm using it here as a second monitor for my computer at the moment.
Nice.
But an iPad mini is only so good by itself.
Yes.
An Apple Pencil might be an accessory that you might want to put on there, and I have done that. That is kind of an obvious pick, but I do have an Apple Pencil to go along with my mini. It snaps right on the side. But what if I want to set it on my desk or put it in my bag? I'm going to need a case. And so I did a lot of research, as you might imagine, and I found this case that I like called the Torro magnetic case, compatible with iPad mini 6th Gen 2021, genuine leather cover with multiple viewing angles, work sleep enabled black. Guess where I got it?
An Amazon?
Yes, it's an Amazon purchase. Now, Torro, according to themselves, and I guess other users on Amazon, is a well-known leather manufacturer in the UK, and they make leather goods. And I was very disappointed that Apple does not make a leather folio type cover for the iPad, the new iPad mini. I have this one back here from the iPad mini 1 or 2. I can't remember what generation it is, but it's wonderful. It's so soft and I love it. But Apple didn't make one for the new form factor, so I had to go to a third party. And so I found Torro. It's not quite as supple and nice as the Apple branded one, but it's cheaper than Apple's, and it works quite well. It has a 3-fold little hinge where you can make the triangle on the back to set up your iPad, or you can flip it around and make it more of a typing machine with a smaller angle.
Oh, yes.
But the premier feature of this case is it also includes a little magnetic flap that can go over the top of your pencil and snap on the front of the case so that your Apple Pencil doesn't just fly off of there when you're getting in the subway, and then it goes down in between the little crack in the floor and you can't find it. It secures that pencil to the device, which I love. So when sometimes I just when I leave the house, I just grab the iPad mini and nothing else, because I know that pencil's going to stay on there and that the front and back are protected. And the other feature that I love about it is that the iPad snaps directly onto the case with magnets. You don't have to snap it into a plastic case. It just magnetically adheres, so you can easily pop off the iPad and put it back on without any effort. So it's like the perfect sleeve. If only Apple would have made it, So anyway, the Torro branded products so far, I like it. I think this might be a second product I've purchased from them over the years. Go out and get one. I think it was what did it cost me? It was around, they're around $55, $60. So they're not the cheapest cases you'll find, but for a leather product, very nice. And this particular one comes in a black and kind of this dark brown. I decided to go with the black. I either want the leather saddle brown or no brown. So
no brown. There we go. Well, my pick of the week this week is kind of a specific pick. I believe Audacity was a previous pick of the week sometime many moons ago. I was trying to see if we had brought it up before, but it is a simple, free program. Well, not necessarily simple. It's an application for your computer to edit audio that I've used for different things over the years. Well, I heard a while ago about a different one I'm calling it Ocenaudio.
Yeah,
it's
that's what it looks
Ocean
like.
Without the A. But this is a newer application. They have Apple and Windows versions, and it's just free software. Now, of course, you have GarageBand if you have a Mac, and there's other options for this. But I had some old audio files that were a little bit longer, and I was trying to go through and having all the waveforms that you get in a program like this, so you can kind of skip to the spots where you can see if that's the part you want. If you've used Audacity in the past, if you just need a good, simple audio, easy, fast, and powerful audio editor, as they tell you, check out Ocenaudio for free. And it's I've played around with it some. Now, I haven't done any. There's all kinds of filters built into it, and you can use other filters. I haven't done any of that. I just used it to kind of play audio. So, but it's a nice little free software option for you if that's something that you need.
Yeah, these little apps, I mean, 9 times out of 10, we don't need a lot to do video editing or audio editing. We just need something small, and apps like this can really be helpful.
Yes, indeed. Much like our podcast can be helpful, and we are going to wrap it up at this point. Thank you so much for listening. Tell a friend, tell a family member over the holidays, hey, you need some Not Nerd in your life so that you can get out there and tech better.
Hold on.
Which I have seen.
Hold on, Nate. Hello?
Yeah.
I tried to hit the mute, and I hit the
mute
speaker,
button.
and then all I did is cough in your ear and not be able to hear you.
Nice.
So there I coughed again. So please, I apologize.